Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading. Today is October 24, 2022, and today is Monday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, Japanese yen retraces just below 150. Major economic events scheduled for today. So 9:30 South African time out of the Eurozone, German flash manufacturing and services PMI numbers coming out. And then across the channel from Great Britain, we have flash manufacturing and services PMI numbers coming out also. And then across the Atlantic at 3:45, flash services PMI numbers coming out of the United States. So looking at the various market symbols, starting out with the Forex, Australian dollar moves lower after a nice run up. And looking at the indices, the Dow Jones pump before the dump. Is that going to happen? We're going to look at it just now. Looking at commodities, gold and oil pretty much unchanged, while we're looking at the stocks trading with the indices and Bitcoin middle of the range. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go. We're looking at the Euro USD Japanese yen. Now look at this, okay? We said this last week. It kept on pushing higher, 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 pushed 150, and then broke to 150.90-ish level. And at that point, it just took a nosedive, okay? That was the capitulation. Now we sold off to 146, and we're right there, midway at 149. 5 points higher, about 3.5 to 5 points higher, where you can see we're almost midway between our run-up and our sell-off, okay? This is usually where we would hit, and this is potentially a resistance-ish level, so just be aware of that. That 149.50-ish level is your resistance-ish level. We're just shy of that right now on the Japanese yen, so keep that in mind as this is still trading. Now looking at the Euro USD trading sideways, but when we look at the Australian dollar, look at that, a nice little pump up and dump. Now, as it went to 62 and then retracing. Now, it's not a big deal, but this is very monumental, where we're seeing this in a bearish market, these spikes, and then right back down, okay? That is a bear market, okay? So just realize that. Now, looking at the commodities, gold, trading sideways, 1648, and we're in a new range, I would say. Bottom of the range, the 1620-ish level. Right there at 1648, just below our 1678 resistance-ish level, so keep that in mind. Looking at crude oil, we're trading at $83.53 at the bottom of the range. Now, looking at the Dow Jones, this is really where it's happening right now. We're trading at 30,669 as this is big run-up, okay, as it had on the upside, 30,978, just shy of that 31,000 when we were there this morning. We hit all the way to 31,300. Now, between October 13th and today, that's 11 days, we went from 28,800 to 31,300, okay? Almost a 2,500 point move, okay? Just about. Now, this is where it's happening. What's going to happen as we move into this week? Big earning week, especially the FANG stocks between Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, and Google happening this week. So lots of stuff coming out. So is this a pump before the dump? Maybe, okay? But we're going to take a look at it. And every day we're going to have to really digest some of the information that is coming out, the corporate earning information that's coming out. Now looking at the NASDAQ, also had that run up, but not as big as the Dow Jones. And then that sell-off to boot, okay? So keep that in mind as this is also making its way this week. Now looking at the individual stocks, they traded with the markets. Apple was up, Facebook was up, not big, but up from its lows. Microsoft also was up. If you look at JP Morgan, it was a little bit stronger than the rest of them at the top of the range. Okay, so everything was relatively strong. What was not strong was Alcoa. Alcoa, although it's at the top of the range, did sell off here. As you can see, it's tapering off initially. Now, I don't want to come up with any conclusions because nothing is leading me here. Okay, there's no market leader right now, as the market is just trading together. And when the markets are trading together, it's a little bit harder to tell what's going to be the one that's going to drive us either higher or lower. Now, looking at Bitcoin, we're trading at that 19,200-ish level, about 300 points down from our high. Okay, it's still in a very, very tight range between 19,900 to 19,000-ish level. Okay, we're somewhere there. Okay, so we're right smack in the middle of that. Very difficult trade to jump into at this stage just because it's been so choppy and gotten so flat. I mean, look at the weekly calendar. If we look at the weekly chart here, you could see, I mean, over the past month and a half since the beginning of July, we've really been in a very tight range here, not breaking much more than 25,000 since May, okay, and not breaking below 17,800-ish level at our worst time. So we've been in an 8,000 point range since May, but mostly over the past 5 months we've been in a 3,000 to 8,000 point range. So that's really a very tight range for us to be in, okay, altogether. So keep that in mind. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.